Today we're making this super cute top. It is crocheted in 3 pieces. We start with the mesh body, then the 2 bra cups, and they're sewn together. For this project, I'm using 125 grams of Line brand soft and simple yarn in the color Cloud. This is a medium weight viscose yarn, and you want to use a lightweight yarn like this one, like bamboo or a cotton blend. And this yarn recommends a 5mm hook, which is what I'm using, and we'll also need some scissors and a yarn needle. And all of the materials will be linked in the description. So first we're going to do the body part of the top. So we're going to start with a slip knot, and to make a slip knot, place the yarn over your hand with the tail end at the bottom. Hold the yarn with your thumb, and make sure that this length is long enough to weave in, so about 10 centimeters. Then grab the top, wrap it around 2 fingers to form an X, and hold it with your pinky. And with your hook, go under one side of the X, over and grab the other side and pull it through. Remove your fingers and tighten the knot. And now we're going to chain. To chain, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through. And we're going to keep chaining until we can stretch the chain to fully wrap around our underbust. And this number has to be a multiple of 4. So I did 88 chains, and you can tell that it's a multiple of 4 if you divide it by 4 and it's not a decimal. So without stretching, it goes around my body like this. It leaves about 10 centimeters, but if I stretch it, then it can fully meet around. And once you have your chains with a multiple of 4, we're going to chain 2 more. And then we're going to start our first row of just single crochet. So we're going to start with a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So this is the first chain, and this is the second chain from the hook. And we're going to go into that V and just under the top loop. Then we'll yarn over, pull through. Now we should have 2 loops on our hook, and we'll yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And that's our first single crochet. Then we'll move on to the next chain, and we're going to do another single crochet. So again, insert your hook into that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops on your hook. And we're going to do that all the way across. So in the next chain, we'll do a single crochet. Then we'll move on to the next chain, do a single crochet, and the next. So I've just finished my row of single crochets, and I have 89 single crochets. You should have the number that you chained that's a multiple of 4. Mine was 88 plus 1. So I have 89 single crochets. Now for the rest of the body, we're going to do the love knot stitch, or also called Solomon's knot. And to do that, we're going to be alternating 2 different rows. So the first row, we're going to start with a chain 1 and turn. And then we're going to single crochet in the first stitch. So here's the first stitch. We're going to go in from the side, under the V, and do our single crochet. Then we're going to do an extended chain. So we're going to pull on our hook to make this loop bigger, and we're going to pull it up to about 2 centimeters. And then we're going to chain. So we'll yarn over and pull through. So there's our extended chain, and you can see the V in the front, and then this line down the back. And we're going to do a single crochet under this back bump of the chain. So if you turn the chain to the right, we're going to go into this space here. So insert your hook into this space, just under the back bump, and do a single crochet. And then we're going to repeat that So extended chain, pull it up to 2 centimeters, then yarn over and pull through, and then we're going to single crochet in the back bump. Then we're going to skip the next 3 stitches. So this is the stitch we put our first single crochet in, and we're going to skip 1, 2, and 3. So that's 3 V's. And in the next one, we're going to do a single crochet. So in from the side, under the V, and do a single crochet. Now I should have this sort of arch, and we're going to repeat this. So we're going to do our extended chain, then single crochet in the back bump, and then extended chain, single crochet in the back bump. Then we're going to skip 3, and in the 4th we're going to do a single crochet. Now we have these 2 arches, and we're going to repeat this pattern all the way across. So again, extended chain, single crochet in the back bump, extended chain, single crochet in the back bump, skip 3, single crochet in the 4th. And if you did a correct number of chains, you should do your last single crochet in the last stitch. So now you should have these arches all across your first row. So the second row is going to be a little bit different. We're going to chain 4. And then we're going to turn. And we're going to do our extended chain, then a single crochet in the back, and we're just going to do that 1 time, and we're going to look at our first arch and single crochet into this stitch in the middle. So every second row starts with a half arch, which is just 1 extended chain and single crochet in the back. Now we can continue with a full arch over to the middle of this arch, and then over to the middle of this one, and like that. So now we're going to do an extended chain, single crochet, then extended chain, and single crochet. And we're going to look for the middle of the next arch. So this one here, we'll single crochet into the middle. So a half arch is just 1 extended chain and single crochet in the back bump, and a full arch is 2 of those. So we're going to continue with full arches and only do a half arch at the end. So half arch at the beginning and end of the second row. So full arches in the middle. So extended chain and single crochet, and then a second one. And then we'll look for the next arch and single crochet into the middle. Extended chain, single crochet in the back, extended chain, single crochet in the back, find the next arch and single crochet into the middle. So we're going to continue the arches and single crochet in the middle of each of the arches from the first row. Near the end, we'll do our final full arch and single crochet to the middle of this last arch. Then we need to complete this row by doing a half arch. So just one extended chain and single crochet. Then we're going to do a treble crochet into this last single crochet. So to do a treble crochet, yarn over twice, then insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now we should have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now our second row is finished. Now we'll do row 3. So that's chain 1, turn, and do a single crochet in the first stitch. And then we're going to start with a full arch. So we're going to do 2 extended chains and single crochets. And then we're going to find the first full arch. So here's half an arch, here's the first full arch, and we're going to single crochet to the middle of it. So that's the start of the row, and then for the rest of the middle, it's going to be full arches. And then we're going to look for the next arch and single crochet to the middle of it. And do a full arch. And single crochet to the middle of the next one. And we'll repeat all the way across. And for our final arch, we'll do the 2 extended chains, and then we're going to have to single crochet to the half arch. So remember we did 4 chains here, we're going to single crochet to the 4th chain. Here you can see the 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this 4th one we're going to go into it with our hook and single crochet. Then we're going to alternate with the second row. So we're going to repeat the second row by chaining 4. And turn. And remember the second row repeat, it starts with a half arch. So we'll do just 1 extended chain and single crochet. And then we're going to single crochet to the middle of the first arch. So this one here. And for the middle of the row, as always, it's going to be full arches. And single crochet to the middle of the next arch. And repeat. And again, for the second row repeat, we're going to do our final arch. Single crochet to the middle of the last arch. Then we're going to do a half arch. And treble crochet to the last stitch. So again, that's yarn over twice, insert your hook into the last stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to continue repeating this until we get the length of the top that we want. So if you hold this first row just under your bust and see how far these rows hang, you can make it as short or as long as you want. So let me recap the 2 rows that we're going to be repeating. So we just finished our repeat of the second row. So we're going to go back to the first row, which starts with a chain 1, turn, single crochet, and full arches across. And at the end of the row, we'll do our last single crochet into the 4th chain of the row before. And then the second row repeat is going to be chain 4, turn, do a half arch, and the first single crochet will go into the middle of the first whole arch, then full arches across the middle, and a half arch at the end with a treble crochet in the final stitch. So just keep alternating those 2 rows until you get the length of the top you want. So I finished 11 rows of this stitch, and it's about 17 centimeters long and 59 centimeters wide. And again, this part goes just under your bust, and then this is however long you want your top to be. And once we're happy with the length, we can fasten off. So to fasten off, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to cut our yarn about 10 centimeters. Then pull through with your hook and tighten this knot. And we're going to set this piece aside and work on the bra cups. And we're going to start with another slip knot. So again, place the yarn over your hand with the tail end at the bottom, hold it with your thumb, wrap the top around 2 fingers to form an X, go under one side of the X, over, grab the other side and pull it through. Remove your fingers and tighten the knot. So here is a bra cup that I've already made, and depending on how much you chain in the beginning will change the shape of the cup. So I chained 8, and it creates a sort of curve like this, and if you chain more, it's going to curve more like this. So it's going to be pointier. And if you chain less, it's going to be rounder like this. So I feel like 8 is a good medium. So if you want this sort of shape, then chain 8. So if you're using a different yarn, but you want to get the same shape that I did, then you want to chain about 4.5 centimeters. So after our 8, we're going to chain 2 more. And this will be our turning chain. And we're going to skip those 2 chains we just made and double crochet into the 3rd. To do double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into that chain, yarn over, pull through. Now you should have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to do the next double crochet in the next chain. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to double crochet across. So now we have 8 double crochets, and we're going to start our second row. To start every new row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we're going to do double crochet in each of these stitches. So this first one here, we'll do a double crochet, and then in the next, and then we're going to do our 8th double crochet in the last stitch. So now it looks like that, and we're going to start working around the rest of this first row. So instead of going back across these stitches, we're going to rotate it like this, and we're going to work into this chain 2 that we left in the foundation chain. So these are the 2 chains that we skipped in the very beginning. And in this space, we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. So yarn over, insert your hook into this space, and do a double crochet. Then we're going to do another one into that same space. Then we'll chain 1 and do 2 more into the same space. So this is the top point of the bra cup. And now we're going to rotate it like this, and we'll work along the bottom of row 1. So we're just working into the chains from our foundation chain just on the opposite side. So into the same space as this double crochet, we'll do a double crochet. And then in the next one, and the next, and all the way across. And make sure you don't miss your very last stitch. And row 2 looks like this. Now we're going to start row 3, and we're going to chain 2 and turn. So every row is going to be worked back and forth like this. So now we're going to double crochet across until we reach this chain 1 space that we made at the top. And make sure you don't miss the last stitch here before the chain 1 space. Since we did 8 here and then we added 2, we should have 10, and then we reach the chain 1 space. And in the chain 1 space, we'll do the same thing we did last round. We'll do 2 double crochets into this space, then chain 1, and do 2 more double crochets into this space. And then we're going to double crochet along the other side. And make sure you don't miss the first stitch after the chain space. And like the other side, we should have 10 double crochets after the chain 1 space. And there is round 3. And we're just going to keep repeating the last round. Chain 2, turn, double crochet until we reach the chain 1 space. And once we reach our chain 1 space, we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And then we'll do our double crochets along the other side. So there is round 4, and you can see it's getting bigger and bigger every time you add a new row, and we're going to keep adding rows until the bra cup is the size you want it to be. And again, we're just repeating chain 2, turn, double crochet until the chain 1 space. And in the chain 1 space, we'll do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, and then we'll double crochet along the other side and repeat. So you can stop whenever you want, and I did 9 total rows. So that's the foundation row and then 8 more after that. And mine measures about 18.5 wide by about 15 centimeters tall. And then we're going to fasten off. So to fasten off, we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to cut our yarn, but we're going to leave a long enough loose end so that we can sew the bottom of this to the rest of the top. So we're going to use the loose end to sew along here. So we're going to need about twice this length. So about 2 times this length, and then you can add a little more just in case. And we'll cut our yarn. And then pull through with your hook. And then we're going to make 1 more of these. We're going to start with the same number of chains, which was 8, and do the same number of rows, which is 9 total rows. Once we have our 2 bra cups with the long loose ends for sewing and our body piece, we can attach them together. So before we start sewing on the bra cups, we're going to do a little bit of math to make sure that they're centered along the body piece. If you don't want to do any math, then you can definitely just eyeball it. It shouldn't make too big of a difference. First, we need to figure out how many stitches we'll sew along the bottom of each bra cup. So for each row along the bottom of the bra cup, we're going to attach it to 2 stitches. So you can count how many rows there are along the bottom and then multiply that by 2, or you can take the number of rows you did. Mine was 9 total rows. Multiply that by 4, that's 36, and then subtract 2, that's 34. So I'm going to attach the bottom of the bra cup to 34 of these stitches. So I have 34 stitches along the bottom of a bra cup, and multiply by 2, that means I have 68 total stitches. And since my single crochet row has 89 stitches, I'm going to subtract 68 from 89. So 89 minus 68, that's 21. So we're going to end up with an odd number, so what we can do is leave 1 stitch in the middle. So we'll attach it like this, and then have 1 stitch space in between the bra cups. That means 21 becomes 20, and I'll have 10 on either side. So I'll count 10 stitches, and in the 11th, I'll start attaching the bra cup. So before we start sewing, make sure that your bra cups are facing the same way. So on both bra cups, the loose ends are on the left side. So first, let's attach the left bra cup. And we're going to work right to left, so we have to rotate this entire project. Or you can just flip both bra cups so that the loose end is on the right side. Then we'll grab our yarn needle, and we'll take this loose end and thread it into our yarn needle. So first we're going to count 10 stitches. So this one is the first, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in this stitch, we're going to attach our bra cup. So at the chain at the bottom, we're going to go down through it with our yarn needle and under the right side of the bra cup and up through a loop along the side. And since we're doing 2 stitches per row of the double crochet, we're going to go on the right side for our first. Then pull the yarn through. Then we'll move on to the next chain. So this was the first one, and this is the next one. We'll go down through it. And then go a little lower down that same row. And up through a loop on the side of that row. And pull the yarn through. And make sure it doesn't catch on the corner. And we're going to repeat. go down through the next chain. And now we're going to move on to the next row on the bra cup. We're going to go up through the side of this row near the right side, since this is the first stitch of that row. Then the next chain, down through that next chain, and up through the side of the second row, a little further to the left. So now we have 2 stitches connected to the first row, 2 stitches connected to the second row, and now we can do 2 stitches connected to the third row. So repeat, go down through the next chain and up through the side of the next row. So after you finish connecting the bottom of the bra cup, you can count your stitches and make sure that you have 34. And now we can tie a knot to make sure that it doesn't come undone. So we can go back into the last chain that we went into, pull the yarn through but not all the way, and then we're going to go back into that loop and pull the yarn through. And that'll tie a knot, and we can do one more for a double knot. So go into that chain, pull the yarn halfway through, and go into the loop. And we can weave in this loose end later. And now we can attach our second bra cup. So thread this other loose end into your yarn needle. And then here is the last chain we just used. And remember, we're going to skip one in the middle and then go into the next. And then we can repeat sewing this bra cup on. And once you've done your 34 stitches, you should have 10 left at the end, and we can tie another double knot. So now the bra cups are attached to the body, and next we're going to attach our strings that we'll use to tie it onto our body. We're going to make straps to 4 points on our project, one here, and then another here, and 2 more at each end of the single crochet row. So let's start with the tops of the bra cups. We're going to make a slip knot again. But this time don't tighten your slip knot. We're going to take this off our hook. So you can just stick your finger there and then take your hook out. Then go over to the chain 1 at the top of the bra cup and insert your hook. Then put the loop back on your hook and tighten it. Then pull this loop through the chain 1 space and start chaining. And this chain is attached to the top of the bra cup, and you can make the strap as long as you want. So I did 80 chains. And you can sort of estimate how long you should make it if you imagine it going around your neck, and then this part is the back of your neck, and then you have some extra to tie a knot. I made it about 41 centimeters long, and once we're happy with the length, we can fasten off. So that's one strap done, and we're going to do an identical strap on this other side. So again, make a slip knot, but don't tighten this loop. Then insert your hook into this chain 1 space, put the loop back on your hook, tighten it, pull the loop through the chain 1 space, and then start chaining the same number of chains. So again, I did 80 chains, and again we're going to fasten off by cutting our yarn and pulling through with our hook. So now we have our 2 straps, and we can do the ones that wrap around our body. Let's start with the one on the left. We'll make another slip knot. Take the loop off our hook, and this time we're going to insert our hook into the chain at the very end. So along the top here, we're going to go into the corner and into this space at the very top. Then put our loop back on our hook, tighten it, and pull the loop through that space. And then start chaining. And this is the chain that'll be at your back, and this one you don't have to make as long as the other chains that we made. So I did 50 chains, and it's about 27 centimeters long, and we can fasten off. And then we'll do the other side. So we have our left strap now, and we just need our last one right here. So again, our slip knot. We're going to go into the top right corner, into this chain space. Then attach our yarn. And we can start chaining. And I'll be chaining 50 because that's what I chained on the other side. After my 50 chains, I'll cut my yarn and pull through with my hook. And now we have all 4 of our straps completed. And the last thing to do is to weave in our loose ends. So take one of your loose ends and thread it into your yarn needle. So this row is the closest, and we're going to go under the stitches. So at the bottom of each double crochet, there's these 2 loops, and I'm just running my yarn needle underneath those 2 loops. So once you've gone across like that, we can pull the yarn through. And then we're going to go to another row. So let's go left to this other row. Then we're going to go back this way under these stitches in this row. Then pull the yarn through. And if you have some more left, you can go to another row and go back a 3rd time. Otherwise, just snip off the excess. And we'll do that to all of our loose ends except for these straps. So you can weave in this loose end into your chain, but if you want, you can just cut them short and leave them like that. And for our loose ends at our love knot stitches, you can weave them back and forth into the chains. So this one I would not recommend going into the extended chains, but since it's at the side, you can go up and down these chains. And your top is finished. Tied around your neck and around your back, and you have a really cute top to wear this summer. And that's all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.